Moving on, let's suppose for a moment that you want to buy something anywhere in the world, but you don't want to use your credit card, your bank account, or any other common financial service. It is possible, though, if you're using the virtual money called Bitcoin.
Devised in 2009 by a secretive software developer, the digital currency is creating a lot of interest and some controversy. VOA's George Putic has reported on Bitcoin, and when I talked to them about it, I learned quite a lot. See for yourselves.
Bitcoin is the first totally decentralized digital currency. It's actually digital file, but it's heavily regulated, and the total number of Bitcoins in the world has to always be accounted for. So there's no way you can counterfeit a Bitcoin.
Now, it's interesting that you describe Bitcoin as being heavily regulated, because I think the perception that a lot of people have gotten is that it's not regulated. So how secure is this?
It's actually very secure. And what's more interesting, the more people join the system, the more secure it is. You have to download a piece of software into your computer. And you entered a system in which every single computer in the system knows where every single Bitcoin is.
Bitcoin is basically solved a computer science problem that for the first time allows just two people to transact online. So it's decentralized. There is no Bitcoin company, there is no government. It's kind of like email.
This also makes it attractive to criminals who want to transfer money secretly, but US law enforcement agencies recently shut down an online black market based on the system. As the chairman of Bitcoin Foundation's Regulatory Affairs Committee, Marco Santori, points out, all Bitcoin transactions can be seen by all other computers.
Those who exchange Bitcoins for other digital currencies or who exchange Bitcoins for dollars are money transmitters under the Bank Secrecy Act.
There are some issues, though, with government approval, correct? There were, in the case of China.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
The Chinese government recently banned Chinese banks, and then they also banned transaction more recently they banned transaction in Bitcoins.
So what happens then to those people in China, to their Bitcoins that they've accumulated? Do we know?
They still have their Bitcoins. Chinese government, even if it wanted to, could not take away those Bitcoins. The only thing is that what a government could do is to punish those businesses that accept the Bitcoins.
Now, what is a Bitcoin in terms of worth? How much is one Bitcoin worth in US dollars?
Right. In the beginning, Bitcoin was worth a fraction of a dollar, a few pennies, actually. But as more and more people started joining the system, the value of the Bitcoin started to rise. Beginning of December, one Bitcoin was worth over $1,000. It fluctuates like any other currency, so it's just a market, money market.
So now if I'm just a regular person in my home, what's the incentive for me to join into this system and start using Bitcoin?
Right. Let's say you are in France and I'm here and I want to send $1,000 to you. So I send you my Bitcoins, and then you contact a local business that trades in Bitcoins and convert it into euros. And you have your euros, and the fee for the transaction is a small fraction of the fee that banks or other financial institutions charge.
Now, finally, let's talk a little bit about the timeline of the Bitcoin, how it came about. Really, I feel like I've just been hearing about it a lot more lately.
Right. In 2009, someone named Satoshi Nakamoto published a scientific paper about Bitcoin and devised the software for Bitcoin in open source. In the beginning, it was only for computer enthusiasts and geeks, but Other people started joining the system. Still, we do not know who the inventor of Bitcoin is, but Bitcoin system obviously works.
And again, that was VOA's George Putic. Now, as George mentioned in December, China banned its financial institutions from handling Bitcoin, saying the currency has no real meaning. But here in the U.S., Central Bank Chairman Ben Bernanke says the digital currency may have long-term promise. As is often said, only time will tell.